The Space Race, A Journey to the Stars. The mid-20th century witnessed one of the most remarkable chapters in human history, the space race. It was an era of intense competition and unparalleled technological achievement between two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union. This race to conquer the cosmos not only reshaped our understanding of space but also catalyzed scientific advancements and left an indelible mark on the course of history. The spark of competition. The space race officially began in 1957 when the Soviet Union, under the leadership of the visionary chief designer Sergei Korolev, achieved a monumental milestone, the launch of Sputnik 1. This small, spherical satellite, equipped with a radio transmitter, emitted a simple, rhythmic beat that reverberated around the Earth. It was the world's first artificial satellite, and its launch marked the dawn of the space age. Sputnik's beeping served as both a scientific triumph and a potent symbol of Soviet technological prowess. The United States, caught off guard, responded with determination. In 1958, NASA was established, marking the birth of America's civilian space agency. This was the starting gun for a race that would see both nations striving to outdo each other in space exploration. Yuri Gagarin's orbital triumph. On April 12, 1961, the Soviet Union once again startled the world by launching Yuri Gagarin into space aboard Vostok 1. Gagarin became the first human to orbit the Earth, making a single orbit that lasted just under 108 minutes. His iconic words, "Poekali," encapsulated the collective dream of humanity to explore the cosmos. Gagarin's historic flight solidified the Soviet Union's lead in the space race and made him an international hero. America's response: Project Mercury and Alan Shepard. The United States was determined not to be left behind. In 1961, NASA initiated Project Mercury, a series of manned spaceflights aimed at putting American astronauts into orbit. On May 5, 1961, Alan Shepard became the first American in space when he piloted the Freedom 7 spacecraft on a suborbital flight that lasted just over 15 minutes. Although shorter in duration than Gagarin's orbital mission, Shepard's journey marked a significant step forward for the U.S. space program. President Kennedy's challenge. It was during this intense period of competition that President John F. Kennedy delivered his famous challenge to the nation on May 25, 1961. In a speech before Congress, he set a bold and ambitious goal. "I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth." This challenge, born out of political and Cold War pressures, would ultimately become the driving force behind the Apollo program. Project Gemini and the pursuit of excellence. To achieve President Kennedy's goal, NASA embarked on Project Gemini in the mid-1960s. This program aimed to develop the skills and technologies required for lunar missions. Over the course of 10 Gemini missions, astronauts honed their spacewalking and rendezvous techniques, laying the groundwork for future lunar excursions. Perhaps the most significant achievement of Project Gemini was the first American spacewalk conducted by astronaut Ed White in 1965. The Apollo program, humanity's giant leap. The most iconic chapter in the space race was undoubtedly the Apollo program. Consisting of several missions, the Apollo program sought to land humans on the Moon and return them safely to Earth. Apollo 8 became the first crewed mission to orbit the Moon in 1968, while Apollo 10 completed a lunar orbit rehearsal. On July 20, 1969, the world held its breath as Apollo 11, with astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins, approached the lunar surface. Armstrong and Aldrin descended in the lunar module, while Collins orbited above. "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," declared Armstrong as he stepped onto the Moon's surface.